Okay, regarding the reindex, the code is ready, and so it has been published. This, I mean, as to it's needed still an iteration of code review, but it seems to work fine and already seems to have a benefit in terms of performance in the whole reindex process. Okay, let's go on with the Zendoo and in particular the certificate quality implementation. We are continuing to work on it, and in particular, we have completed the first draft with all the relevant functionalities, and this includes almost all integration tests. Now, I mean, after a first code review session, we identified some possible areas of improvements, and so the guys are working on that. And so we will have probably some additional code refactoring and adding some additional unit tests. Regarding the proving system and let's say all the area of optimizations, like for example GPU. Okay, on the prover side, we identified. I mean, you remember that we ported on GPU. Let me say, many of the, or even almost all of the multi-scalar multiplications of the prover. And but one of the phases of the prover were not performing so well on the GPU. So we identified first we identified this that was affecting the overall performances enhancement that we had on the other parts, and so we identified also the reason for that. So we are currently working on a more efficient way to bring this part on the GPU, because the way we used was perfect for the other two parts of the prover, but for this specific part of the prover is not providing benefits. So we are finding another way for porting this process on the GPU. Another important part that we are working on is, beyond the overall design of the proving system that we are going to use, is also a possible, and this is part of this overall design, is a possible change on the prover to defer some of the most expensive operation and defer some of these operations only at the final certificate proof. But this is still, let me say, something that we are verifying is not yet confirmed. It needs a little bit of more checks. Okay, going on with the SDK changes. As you know, we had several workshop sessions that were involving the circuit and also these sessions were meant to understand what are the needed changes on the SDK side. And so, in regards to the prover's invocation mechanism, some of these changes are related to the state organization. So, for example, we want to provide to the prover the data that is necessary for generating the proof. So, for example, the transitions, the data that is needed for proving the transitions in the state. So, all these kind of things had, as a consequence, identifying the changes that we need to do on the implementation of the SDK to keep the state. So introducing, for example, the handling of this UTXO Merkle tree instead of a map, and how can we apply these changes one by one. I mean, given a transaction, and so collecting the data that should be passed to the prover and so on. So we had a very another very other very interesting sessions, also with Alexander, and I think that we got a good design, and so now we are proceeding in these iterations for fixing this design phase, and then continuing with the implementation. Related to this is the circuit, and in particular, we had also, for example, with Daniele, some sessions, and Andre, some sessions related to the how we are structuring the gadgets, in particular the gadgets, in a way that they are modular for, let me say, ensuring that all the checks and the statements regarding the most common rules of transaction can be reused also in case of dynamic circuit, or sorry, dynamic extendable circuits, extendable transaction circuits. In any case, also this design phase is something that is going on, and this is necessary also for completing the implementation, because in reality we already have some base transaction circuit, but currently is not designed in the way that we want to have it. We want to have it in a way that can be more easily be extended for specific needs. Okay. Totally different topic is the Sidechain Explorer. As we announced last week, we have also started working on the SDK in order to allow the future support of the Sidechain Explorer. So, if you remember, we needed to implement a WebSocket server on the Sidechain node for, let me see, supporting the Explorer, and this is finished, and I mean the first code phase, and so currently we are adding the endpoints needed by the Sidechain Explorer. Oh, for sure, this will need unit tests that still are missing, and also obviously the code review sessions. Okay, this is the last thing, and it's related to BlockUp 2020, the conference, the prestigious BlockUp 2020 conference that took place yesterday. And so now the videos are published, and we will now repost the video on Discord in case you have missed it. And obviously, please let us know what you think about it, and obviously, if you have any questions and comments, they're here. And I think that's all.
That's probably it, yeah. So I will now repost the videos, as Alberto just said, and back to you, Angie.
Thank you, and Alberto and Luca, for the engineering updates. Let's continue with Chronic for the infra update.